What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Knicks Latest. I am your host, Josh Rodriguez. This is a new show. We're going to be bringing you everything New York Knicks basketball 5, 6, 7 times a week going forward. Starting a show right before the playoffs is a fantastic idea because this is the peak of the season. I'm really excited to do it. I hope you're really excited as well. I want to make you a part of the show, so make sure you comment. If you agree, if you disagree, if you have a question, anything, leave a comment below. I want to be taking your comments and be using them for my future shows. Want to have a segment about that. You can follow me everywhere at Josh_Rodriguez_. And when we get our handle for Knicks Latest, I will be making sure that you know what it is. So you can follow that as well and interact with the handle, which will be me in proxy. So you can contact me in many different ways. Like I said before, I want to take your Twitter mentions. I want to take your Instagram comments. I want to take your DMs. I want to take your YouTube comments and make them a part of the show because you are important too. We are Knicks fans. We are one voice. We all have different perspectives, and I think we're the greatest fan base in the world, and I'm very honored to be a part of it. Very honored to be a host for a Knicks show. Let's get started, though, with the first show, and then unfortunately, it is coming off a game where the Knicks get absolutely obliterated by the Cleveland Cavaliers. They lose 124-105 in a game where, honestly, in the first half, coming off of a back-to-back, I didn't expect the Knicks to play this well. Josh Hart looked like the Josh Hart we need in the playoffs. Looks like the Josh Hart that has been missing for the most part in the second half of the year. He was aggressive. He was attacking the hole. He was cutting. His teammates were finding him. He was shooting while he was open. He was yelling at the refs because he was getting fouled, and they weren't calling it. OG Anunoby has been looking like Michael Jordan. I don't know where this is coming from, but I like it a lot. He had 23 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists. And even though he only had 4 points in the second half, you know, what I saw in the first half was really encouraging, right? The Knicks right now, you know what you're getting from Jalen Brunson. You know catcher number 2. And OG and Mikal Bridges have kind of been like, who's going to be that number 3? Who's going to step up to be that 3? And it looks like it's going to be OG Anunoby. And I'm very comfortable with that, seeing how he has taken over the offense since Jalen Brunson has gone down. He has been their best offensive player in the half court, creating shots for himself, hitting the 3 while he's open. Defensively, he's still the OG that we know and love, getting deflections, getting on the fast break, getting easy transition buckets. He is turning into, if not already was, one of the better two-way players in the league. And this is exactly the type of basketball you want to see OG and Anunoby playing going forward into the postseason. You know, even though they did get smacked by the Cavs today, you know, that is a plus. That is something that they can build on. You know, you're going into Cleveland. They played all their players except Ty Jerome, who is an important piece, but they played all their players. And, you know, you don't expect to win this game. I wasn't expecting the Knicks to win this game. They were double-digit underdogs in this game. So the fact that they lost this game is really not that big of a deal. So you want to see things like OG Anunoby continuing his pace. Can Landry Shamet continue hitting the 3 at the rate that he's been hitting? And the answer was no today, which is okay. Maybe he'll bounce back next game. Karl-Anthony Towns didn't play last night. How does he look today? I thought he looked aggressive. I thought he looked healthy. I thought he looked fine. Still needs work defensively, but that's okay. You know, Josh Hart, is he the aggressive Josh that we need in the playoffs? Is he the aggressive Josh that we saw all first round against the Philadelphia 76ers last year? If we get this Josh Hart that we saw in the first half, I'll take it. I'll take it. You know, Mikal Bridges was quiet tonight. Whatever. I think DeLon Wright gave the Knicks great minutes. He's somebody who I'm looking at now where it's like, I think I want this guy to be in the playoff rotation. I think I prefer him over Campaign. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me. I think I could prefer DeLon Wright over Campaign. I know it's a little bit of a step back offensively, but is it really? You know, Campaign, yeah, he can put up numbers. He can shoot the basketball, but he comes in and he jacks from long distance. His shot selection is not good. DeLon Wright, he controls the game. He knows himself. He'll shoot when he's open, and he'll make it. He's fantastic defensively. He's somebody who I trust out there. You know, Cam, I don't know if I trust so much with the basketball, without the basketball on the defensive end. DeLon Wright is calming, and I like that in the backup point guard. He's somebody who I think Tibbs really has to look at, maybe giving him some minutes. I don't know. So, overall, yes, they lost by 19. Yes, they blew a 15-point lead. But if you look at it, not in the micro, but in the macro, double-digit underdogs on the road. You're missing your best player. You're missing Deuce McBride. You're missing your best defensive player, Mitchell Robinson. What did you expect? This is a team they haven't beat all year. They gotten smacked the last time they played when fully healthy. They lost early at the Garden. What did you expect? So you can't be too mad at this game if you're a Knicks fan. It is disappointing. You blow a lead. But you're very encouraged with what you saw in the first half of the game. That's the New York Knicks team that needs to show up in the playoffs. That's the New York Knicks team that reminded me of last year's team. And again, down Jalen, down Deuce, down Mitch. For the most part, I'm proud of how this team competed. So I'll take that. I'll take that loss. It's a game that I didn't expect them to win anyway, so it's whatever. Now, with that loss, the Knicks are now 48-28. It looks like they're more than likely going to be the 3 seed. It looks like the Bucks are more than likely going to be the 6 seed. There are some rumors now that Damian Lillard might be coming back quicker than we thought. You know, I was one thinking that he's not coming back. I mean, a blood clot. Victor Wembanyama has the same thing in a different part of his body, and he's out for the rest of the year. This is like a serious injury. Takes blood thinners. Got to get the clot out. So in my mind, I'm like, yeah, give me the Bucks. Not to be one of those guys, but I don't want to see the Pacers, a team that knocked us off in the playoffs last year, one that I think the Knicks are going to have a way harder time guarding in a 7-game series this year as opposed to last year. I don't want to see that team. The Pistons, whatever. I think the Knicks would beat the Pistons, but I think they would give a tougher fight. The Bucks have Giannis. Yes, you have to obviously be aware of him, but OG Anunoby on the defensive end doesn't stop Giannis. You can't stop Giannis. But I think he does a pretty good job defensively on Giannis, enough where the rest of the Bucks don't really. I don't see Brook Lopez taking over and helping Giannis win a series. I don't see Kyle Kuzma taking over and helping Giannis win a series. I don't think Giannis has enough help to overcome what the Knicks are going to bring on the offensive end with Karl Anthony Towns, with Jalen Brunson, with an OG Anunoby, with Deuce when he's back. I just think the Knicks outman the Bucks. I think they outmatch the Bucks. I think if they get the Bucks in the first round without Damian Lillard, that's a gift. That is a gift that you take. And that's one that I'm hoping that the Knicks get, right? Now, I think they win the first round series no matter who the opponent is. Maybe if it's the Pacers, I'm second guessing myself. But the Bucks, very comfortable going into that series. Very comfortable going into that series. The Knicks have struggled defensively all year. But with Giannis, it's a little different because you don't have to move as much. You can set up a wall. You're not have to worry about a pick and roll. Like you don't have to worry about Cat getting put in a pick and roll. They don't have it without Dame. They don't have the personnel that's going to torch them. So I do think the holes that the Knicks have defensively can be covered up against the Bucks, and I know for a fact the Knicks can score against anybody. That matchup doesn't worry me at all. So I'm hoping going forward, this is what the matchup stays. Knicks 3, Bucks 6. Knicks have home court. Knicks are healthy. Jalen Brunson's back. Because to me, that's a series win. And Jalen's set to come back apparently this weekend. The Knicks do have a back-to-back coming up. I know one game. I'm looking at the schedule now. They have a game on Saturday against the Hawks, and they have a game Sunday against the Suns. And reports are that Jalen Brunson is looking to come back one of those games, which I would prefer because the Knicks are going to need him in the playoffs no matter what. Because I'm having a different tone if Jalen Brunson's not playing in the playoffs. Don't want to go there. Don't think that's happening. So I'm cool. But let's end the show looking forward to Saturday's game against the Atlanta Hawks. This is a team that has they traded DeAndre Hunter to the Cavs. They pretty much went into tank mode. They lost against the Blazers last night, the Heat, the Rockets a couple nights ago. They did beat the Bucks. They killed the Bucks. But this is a team that really has no business staying on the court with the New York Knicks, especially if Jalen decides to come back. And even if Jalen doesn't come back, if Cat's playing, if Mitch is playing, the Knicks have more talent than the Hawks. This is a game where this version of the New York Knicks, they win. They win this. They win this game because that's what they've been doing all year. They've been beating teams that they should beat. That's not the problem with this Knicks team. The problem with the Knicks team is playing the Cavs. The problem with this Knicks team is playing against the Thunder. This is the Atlanta Hawks in March. This should be an easy dub. If it's not an easy dub, the Knicks latest after the Hawks game is going to have a way different tone. But I'm very confident the Knicks pull out the W here. Then they have a back-to-back with Phoenix the next day. Jalen's going to come back one of those games. You know what he does in Phoenix. I don't know what it is in Phoenix. He goes crazy in Phoenix. So I'm hoping it's that game. see him go crazy. But hopefully he comes back, 20 minutes here, 25 minutes next game, 30 minutes. Tibbs, don't go crazy. There's no need to play Jalen Brunson 35 minutes, 40 minutes when he comes back. I don't think he's going to do that. I don't think Tibbs is that unhinged. But you never know with Tibbs. So we'll see. But listen, that's going to do it for our first episode of Knicks Latest. 10, 15 minutes almost every day, breaking down the latest in Knicks news, Knicks stats, rumors, games, all that good stuff. The playoffs are approaching, so it's a perfect time to get on board right now. Drop your comments, drop questions below. I will get to them, and I'll see you next time for another episode of Knicks Latest. Peace.